He's a Dominican-born poet, represents Harlem, Washington Heights. In his own words, poetry saved his life. Can y'all make some noise? Start clapping now. Start clapping now. Start clapping now. Give it up for Dona.
In honor of that poetry, right? Coded hunger. See, I won't ever again confuse how willing hunger will make a body. There was a moment where I should have realized that then everything around me was a derivative of desire, symptoms that either starve the body, the mind, or the soul, and they all screamed hunger. You see, my homie was going on about the fact that we should be mindful of being black in the hood, hunger. And what thing less than bones, hope and faith had left for us to barter with, hunger. About the fact that he had heard it once said that by the time we wish upon a star, it is already dead, hunger. In that same moment, the baby from apartment 10G was crying for his mother's nipple, hunger. But she was busy working a double shift because she was responsible for breaking the family curse, hunger. And at a distance, 5-0 was blowing sirens into the empty stomach of the ghetto, hunger, hoping to feed another statistic into the body of a country that was long-tongued, that felt like sandpaper, 3 teeth and too much saliva, but their lips is always crusty, hunger. The TV was fixed on an X-ray of BET. The sound waves trying to hide how willing America is to pimp your ride but not feed its soul, hunger. In the meantime, closest to me, in that very moment, I told someone that I had bled for and hurt others for, hunger. I told them without saying that my mother does not hug me enough by claiming I don't give a fuck about these hoes, hunger. But you see, my homie in that moment, my homie was cooking crack in a pot over the same stove his mother would later use to make supper. Hunger. His mother, who prepared every day as best she could to feed her children. Hunger. While he cooked something to fix the murmurs in the head from the bodies the addict had buried in his soul. A once upon a time veteran, revolutionary, father, lover, poet. And ain't that a moment? Ain't it a thing to know how to stop the bleeding yet not know what to heal? To know how to stop the hurting and not know what to do about the suffering? To claim to know what we want yet can't get what we need? Don't know where it aches, how urgent the gluttony becomes. I've known this privilege, the empty, the rapture of stomachs and rib cages kissing, the sweet nothings of gut whispers into a room that prefers you kept all that pain a secret. How everything or anything or anyone becomes enough. How I can't be the only one that has been a slave to circumstance. My open mouth made a table, waiting to catch, to stomach whatever the world was willing to spill, to spare. You see, this city will eat its children and call it love, call it justice, call it crime, call upon God while stealing prayers from a cathedral. So you see, hunger be a fateful thing. Be a thing that transcends body into spirit. And I've seen my mother be cannibalized by progress and my father empty his spirit of burden until God convinced him that he was good enough to at least raise one child. A holy man who offers the body of Christ, but both be drenched and fed, yet drag their spirit by the shadow, a pair of cadavers moving slowly in a chapel, wondering why God won't visit certain spaces. So you see, hunger speaks as the gospel does to those who are willing to listen. Because ain't it faith that stirred the pot? That reasoned a wound into bleeding just long enough that reminds you that you can be forgiven. But ain't I too a vessel of God, never meant to know its fill? Don't we all spill to water the drought? You see, these ain't parables and prose. These be prayers that pivot fables into faith. So fall deep, child of the word, gospel of the limb, exhale in Exodus, footprints in the sand. Because you ain't got to look back to know what walks within and around you. Trying to pocket a little bit of God to quiet the stomach rumblings. But let me remind you, it is much easier to drown in the surface of something than to live in the depth of a prayer. So just stir the pot, the knot. Make it a confession if you must. Wish upon a star if you can. Because ain't he, ain't she, ain't I, ain't you. Just singing lullabies to quiet the accusations before the world eats itself, ravenous and implicit in the mouth of the world.